you've entitled the book Digital Liturgy. What is a liturgy?
Yeah. So in the book, I define a liturgy, and I have some quotes that I take from some other writers, but I define a liturgy as a set of practices that focus our attention and kind of shape our emotions. So it's a kind of a set of things that we do and things that we say to ourselves and to each other that drive down certain beliefs into our heart.
So how does that definition relate to the way the term's most frequently used is religious liturgies, which are regular patterns of worship?
Yeah. So in a church liturgy, at least the church liturgy that I'm familiar with, you have a set of practices that are organized around certain truths. So the call to worship is a passage of scripture is read that reminds us that God is God and we're not. God is worthy of praise and glory, and that's why we're assembled in worship today. The prayer of confession is a action centered around the truth that we're sinners. And that prayer reminds us, now, whether we feel like we've had an amazing week, whether we feel like we've had a terrible week, it doesn't matter. That prayer of confession grabs a hold of the whole congregation and in corporate worship forces us to admit that we are sinners. That's the prayer of confession. The application of the gospel, the proclamation of forgiveness, that reminds us that no matter how bad we feel like the week has done, we've done in the week, Christ's forgiveness is complete. His work is complete on our behalf. And if we trust him, that forgiveness is assured. So there's a set of practices that are built around those truths. And so the question is, how do you drive those truths down into your heart? And one way to do that is through a set of corporate practices like that, like a prayer of confession, like a call to worship. And so I was very influenced in the book by James K. Smith and his work on cultural liturgies. So he has this 3-volume set that's very influential on cultural liturgies. The first one is called Desiring the Kingdom. But he also has a 1-volume kind of popular treatment called You Are What You Love, The Formative Power of Habit. And I was very influenced by his connection between the way a liturgy functions in Christian worship and the way a different environment would function in secular culture. So his example is the shopping mall. And this is a wonderful example. He says that the shopping mall resembles a church service because it uses images, it uses metaphors, it uses, in many cases, like music, to press home an idea of the good life on everybody who's there. And their idea of the good life, the mall's idea of the good life, is you will be happy if you buy this. So if you go into a shopping mall, it's not just someone standing in front of a shabby store saying, please buy this, please buy this. If you go into a shopping mall, it's an aesthetic experience. It's a habitat that makes these purchases feel plausible to you in a way they may not otherwise. You may not even think that you want that outfit or this gadget if you weren't in the mall.